Wait. Max, did you hear about what happened yesterday?
What? No. What happened?
Exactly. That's what everyone says when they hear news. But here's the problem. Most English learners freeze when someone asks, "Did you hear about?" They don't know what to say, how to respond, or even how to share news themselves. And that's a huge problem because talking about news is one of the most common ways native speakers start conversations.
You're absolutely right. Whether it's about the weather, sports, celebrity gossip, or something serious, news is everywhere. And if you can't talk about it, you miss out on so many conversations.
So today, we're going to fix that. We're going to teach you exactly how to talk about news in English, from asking questions to sharing stories to reacting naturally. And trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll sound way more confident and natural.
Let's dive in. Hey everyone! Thanks for listening to our videos. You're listening to Mr. Englishman. I'm Max, and with me here is the always amazing Lily.
Thank you. And today we have such a practical lesson for you. Seriously, if you want to sound natural in English conversations, you need to know how to talk about news.
Exactly. And here's the thing. This isn't just about reading the news or understanding headlines. It's about how to actually have conversations about current events, stories, or even just daily happenings.
Right. So whether you're chatting with coworkers, texting a friend, or making small talk at a party, this skill is super important.
And don't worry, we're keeping it simple, beginner-friendly, and fun. No complicated vocabulary, no boring grammar lectures, just real, useful English.
So here's what we'll cover today. First, we'll teach you how to ask about news. Then we'll show you how to share news with someone. After that, we'll practice how to react naturally. Like, "Oh my gosh," or "Really? I had no idea."
And we'll also throw in some common phrases, mistakes to avoid, and even a fun role play so you can practice with us.
By the end, you'll feel ready to jump into any conversation about news. Sound good?
Let's get started.
All right, Max. Let's start with the basics. Imagine you walk into work and you want to ask your colleague if they heard about something. What do you say?
Great question. The most common way is super simple. You say, "Did you hear about," for example, "Did you hear about the storm last night?" Or, "Did you hear about the new restaurant opening downtown?"
Perfect. "Did you hear about" is probably the number one phrase native speakers use. It's natural, friendly, and works in almost any situation.
Exactly. And here's a cool tip. You can also make it more casual by saying, "Have you heard about?" It means the same thing, just slightly more relaxed.
Ooh, I like that. So, have you heard about the new movie coming out? Same idea, just a tiny bit different.
Yep. Now, let's look at another way to ask. You can say, "Did you see?" This one is great when you're talking about something visual or online. Like, "Did you see that video on social media?" Or, "Did you see the game last night?"
Right. "Did you see" is perfect for things people can watch or look at. So it's not just news, it could be a funny post, a TV show, or even a photo.
Exactly. And here's one more. "Have you checked out?" This is more modern and casual. Like, "Have you checked out the new coffee shop yet?" Or, "Have you checked out that new Netflix series?"
I love that one. It feels young and trendy. Okay, so let's recap. We have three main ways to ask about news. Did you hear about? Did you see? And have you checked out?
Perfect summary. And listeners, here's your first practice moment. Pause the video right now and try saying this sentence out loud. "Did you hear about the new update?"
Go ahead. Say it. "Did you hear about the new update?" Don't be shy. This is how you get better.
Awesome. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. How to share news with someone.
All right, Max. So now imagine someone asks you, "What's new?" or "Any news?" How do you start sharing?
Great question. The easiest way is to say, "You won't believe this," or guess what? These are super common and grab attention right away.
Ooh, I love those. You won't believe this, but I got a promotion. Or guess what? I saw a celebrity at the mall.
Exactly. Those phrases build excitement. People immediately want to know more.
Right. Now, what if the news is more serious or neutral? Like, not exciting, but still important.
Good point. In that case, you can say, did you know that? Or, I just found out that. These are more neutral and work for any kind of news.
For example, did you know that the store is closing next week? Or, I just found out that the meeting got moved to Friday.
Perfect examples. And here's another one. You can say, I heard that. This is great when you're sharing something you learned from someone else or the news.
Like, I heard that it's going to rain all weekend, or I heard that they're building a new park nearby.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about something important. Verb tenses. When you're sharing recent news, you usually use the past tense or present perfect.
Okay, explain that a bit more. I know some learners get confused here.
Sure. So if the news just happened very recently, use present perfect, like they've announced a new policy, or she's moved to a new city.
Got it. And if it happened a little while ago, use simple past, like they announced it yesterday, or she moved last month.
Exactly. Don't stress too much about it. Both sound natural. Just try to match the time frame.
Awesome. Okay, listeners, here's your second practice moment. Try saying, I just found out that the concert got canceled.
Say it out loud. I just found out that the concert got canceled. Good job. Okay, now let's move to the fun part. How to react to news.
Okay, Lily, this is one of my favorite parts because reactions make conversations feel real and emotional.
Totally. When someone tells you news, you can't just say okay and walk away. You need to show you care, whether it's good news, bad news, or surprising news.
Exactly. So let's start with good news. If someone says, I got a new job, what do you say?
You say, that's amazing, or congratulations, or even, I'm so happy for you.
Perfect. Those are all warm and positive. You could also say, that's awesome, or good for you.
Right. Now, what if the news is bad? Like, I lost my wallet.
Then you want to show sympathy. You can say, oh no, or I'm so sorry to hear that, or that's terrible.
Exactly. And here's a key tip. Your tone matters just as much as your words. If you say, oh no, in a flat voice, it doesn't sound sincere.
Great point. You need to sound genuinely concerned or excited depending on the situation.
Right. Now, what about surprising news? Like, did you hear that Emma got married?
Then you say, really? Or no way? Or are you serious?
Yes, no way is one of my favorites. It's so natural and fun.
Totally. And you can also say, I had no idea, or I can't believe it.
Perfect. Okay, let's practice all three. Listeners, imagine I just told you I won the lottery. What do you say?
Say it out loud. Maybe that's amazing, or no way, or congratulations. Great job.
Now, imagine I said, my dog is sick. What do you say?
Try it. Oh no, or I'm so sorry to hear that. Awesome.
And finally, imagine I said, Tom quit his job to become a musician. What do you say?
Say it. Really? Or no way, or I can't believe it. Excellent work. You're doing great, everyone. Now let's keep going.
Okay, before we continue, I need to tell you something important. There's one big mistake that almost every English learner makes when talking about news.
Ooh, what is it?
They use the wrong tense or forget to use articles. For example, they say, I heard they build new mall, instead of, I heard they're building a new mall.
Oh, wow, that's such a common mistake.
Right? So remember, when you're talking about ongoing or recent news, use continuous tenses like is happening or are building, and don't forget a or the before nouns.
Great reminder. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to dive into some super useful phrases and expressions next. All right, Max, let's give our listeners some go-to phrases they can use in any conversation about news.
Love it. Okay, first phrase, according to the news. This is perfect when you want to share something you heard on TV or online.
For example, according to the news, it's going to be sunny this weekend.
Exactly. Another one, apparently. This means you heard something, but you're not 100% sure if it's true.
Like, apparently, they're opening a new gym in the neighborhood.
Perfect. Here's another. I read somewhere that. This is casual and shows you're sharing information you remember, but maybe not perfectly.
For example, I read somewhere that drinking coffee is actually good for you.
Nice. And here's a fun one. Word on the street is. This is very informal and means you heard gossip or rumors.
Ooh, I love that. Word on the street is that Sarah's moving to Paris. So dramatic.
Exactly. Okay, here's one more. Breaking news. This is obviously for big, urgent news.
Like breaking news, the concert tickets just went on sale.
Perfect. All right, listeners, pick one of these phrases and use it in a sentence right now. Try saying, according to the news, the weather will be great tomorrow.
Or, apparently, there's a new coffee shop opening nearby. Go ahead, say it out loud.
Awesome work. Now, let's talk about how to ask follow-up questions.
Okay, so Max, someone just told you some news. How do you keep the conversation going?
Great question. The easiest way is to ask follow-up questions. For example, if someone says, I'm moving to Canada, you can say, when are you leaving? Or why did you decide to move?
Perfect. Those questions show you're interested and engaged.
Exactly. Here's some other common follow-ups. How did that happen? Or what are you going to do? Or who told you?
Those are great. You can also say, how do you feel about it, if the news is personal?
Yes, that's a very caring question. It shows empathy.
Another good one is, when did you find out? This works for any kind of news.
Totally. And if the news is surprising, you can say, how is that even possible? Or what happened exactly?
Love those. Okay, listeners, let's practice. Imagine I said, I'm starting a new job next month. What follow-up question would you ask?
Try it. Maybe, when do you start? Or what's the job? Or are you excited? Great.
Awesome. Okay, let's move to our interactive role play section.
All right, everyone, this is where it gets fun. We're going to do a quick role play, and we want you to participate.
Here's the situation. You're at a cafe and you run into an old friend. They ask, hey, any news? You need to share something and then react to their news.
Ready? I'll be your friend. You start by sharing your news. Go ahead, tell me something.
For example, you could say, actually, yes, I just started learning guitar.
Ooh, nice. And I'll respond, that's awesome. How's it going?
It's hard, but I'm enjoying it.
Perfect. Now, I'll share my news. Oh, guess what? I'm going to Italy next month.
Now it's your turn, listeners. React to my news. Say something like, no way, or that's amazing, or I'm so jealous.
Great job. Now, ask me a follow-up question. Try saying, how long are you going for? Or why Italy?
Awesome work. See how natural that felt?
Exactly. The more you practice these little exchanges, the easier they become.
All right, everyone, let's quickly recap everything we've learned today.
First, we learned how to ask about news. Remember, did you hear about, did you see, and have you checked out?
Second, we learned how to share news. Use phrases like, you won't believe this. Guess what? I just found out that, and I heard that.
Third, we practiced how to react. For good news, say, that's amazing, or congratulations. For bad news, say, oh no, or I'm so sorry. For surprising news, say, really, or no way.
Fourth, we learned useful expressions like, according to the news, apparently, and word on the street is.
And finally, we practiced asking follow-up questions like, when did you find out? And how do you feel about it?
If you can do these 5 things, you'll sound natural and confident when talking about news in English.
And remember, the key is practice. Don't just listen to this lesson and forget it. Actually use these phrases in real life.
All right, everyone, we're almost at the end, but before we go, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Learning English isn't just about grammar and vocabulary. It's about connecting with people. And when you can talk about news, whether it's big or small, you become part of the conversation. You're not just listening anymore. You're participating.
I love that. And honestly, that's what makes learning a language exciting. It's not about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to try.
Exactly. So here's your challenge for today. Go out and use one of these phrases. Share some news with a friend, react to something you hear, or ask someone, did you hear about?
And let us know how it goes. Leave a comment below and tell us which phrase you tried. We read every single comment, and we love hearing from you.
Also, if you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who's learning English. It really helps us keep making these videos for you.
And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson.
Oh, and one more thing. Stay to the very end for a bonus tip we almost forgot to mention.
All right, here's your bonus tip. If you want to sound supernatural, try using filler words like actually or by the way when sharing news. For example, by the way, did you hear about the new policy?
These little words make your English sound smooth and native-like. Trust us, it works.
Okay, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching and listening.
We'll see you in the next lesson where we're going to teach you how to give compliments in English without sounding weird or awkward. You don't want to miss that one.
Take care, everyone.
Keep practicing and remember, you're doing amazing.
Bye.
Bye.